All right, guys, this is one of those ordering problems. It says order the following from greatest to least. That means we are starting with the biggest and we're going to go down to the smallest. The first thing I want you to do, and I really hope you'll listen when I ask you to set it up this way, is to write the numbers down below each other. So we've got 0.61, 5 times 10 to the second power. We've got 42%. We've got 7 divided by 10. Once you do that, if you make columns and you're careful and draw your lines out, then you won't have any problem getting these right. First of all, 0.61 is already a decimal. To make it a percent, you have to multiply 100, which gives you 61%. 5 times 10 y to the x to the second power gives you 500. Make sure you're putting that in your calculator correctly. I'd hate for you to put it in your calculator wrong, and that's why you get it wrong. When you take that 500 times 100, you're going to get 50,000. Be careful when you're writing your zeros, percent. The 42% is already a percent, so I'm just going to move it over here. But if I want to change it to a decimal, I take a percent and divide by 100 to get a decimal. Finally, 7 divided by 10. You just put it in your calculator to get 0.7, and then you multiply that by 100 to get 70%. Now, I'm going to suggest that you only look at this. You only look at the percentages because it's much easier to make things work that way. The first one that I'm looking for the biggest, is got to be 50,000%. So this has got to be the biggest number, so it would go first. Then I've got 61%, 42%, and 70%. 70% is the next largest, so that would have to be second. Then comes 61%. That would be the third largest. And finally, the smallest is the 42%. Always go back and check all of your calculations to make sure you're right. These are the ones you've got to get right, okay?